Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is first video for study with me. The reason I'm doing those videos, study with me, to help the English speaker who is interested in studying Islamic studies, to help him to do that and to help him translate from Arabic to English. So this is why I'm doing those videos. Maybe they will be helpful because sometimes a lot of friends ask me questions and I will be so surprised from the question. That's why I figure doing those kind of videos might help spreading knowledge of Islamic studies in English language. And I'm gonna be using Arabic books because the Arabic books is much more in quality and quantity than what's being translated. So if we wanna compare the Islamic studies books from in the Arabic language to the English language, what's being translated, only it's a drop of the sea. Like, yes, there is English books is being translated from Arabic, but it's very little. Someone could say, oh, there is like about 6,000 books in English. Yeah, I know, but that's very little comparing what's in the Arabic language. So for anyone who wants to be a student of knowledge in Islamic studies, you must have the Arabic language at depth in order to understand the Arabic books. Like this book right here on the screen, we're gonna study together, inshallah. Basically, we're gonna be reading and trying to understand what they're saying and trying to translate to the best of our knowledge. This book called, and the reason I'm doing this book is because a friend of mine, may Allah guide him, he said once to me, brother, it's okay, we could say that Tabari made a mistake. Brother, it's okay, we could just say that Ibn al-Qayyim made a mistake. That shows kind of, I don't want to say ignorant, kind of not knowing how depth is the topic. That's why I'm doing those videos, to help the brothers gain knowledge, inshallah, regarding tafsir and tarjih of the books, of the tafsir. Like this book right here says قواعد الترجيح عند المفسرين، دراسة نظرية تطبيقية. What does that mean? This means, قواعد means fundamentals. الترجيح means if you have like two tafsirs, which one is more accurate, which one is more appropriate for the ayah. So saying one tafsir is more accurate, that's called tarjih. عند المفسرين, with the people who's doing tafsir, the scholars of tafsir. That's the title of the book, called قواعد الترجيح عند المفسرين. I know my translation is not going to be like accurate 100%, but I'm trying to help. That's about it. If I get it, it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if I made a mistake, it's from me and shaitan, and Allah wa rasuluh bari'an minhu. So this is the first book I'm doing because so many brothers, they come and say, oh, Ibn al-Qayyim made a mistake, Tabari made a mistake. It's not that easy, brother, for a scholar like Ibn al-Qayyim and al-Tabari just to say he made a mistake because he doesn't agree with your interpretation of the ayah. That's not an accurate way to say it, because when we look how al-Tabari reached the explanation, the interpretation of the ayah, we see that he has a very precise, very accurate fundamentals of interpretation of the ayah. So it's not really very easy to say that Tabari made a mistake. Yes, he can make mistakes, but just to say this Mufassir made a mistake just because he doesn't agree with my interpretation is very hard to do that. And the reason why? Because of the fundamentals of tafsir and the fundamentals of tarjih the Mufassirin they use. And this is one of them right there on front of you on the text, on the screen. It's a book called قواعد الترجيح عند المفسرين. How the Mufassirin, how the scholars of tafsir do tarjih. That's the fundamentals we're talking about here. What's the path and the way that the scholars of tafsir differ between different interpretation, saying this interpretation is more accurate than the other interpretation. That's called tarjih. So I hope that explains the title of the book. And this book is actually it had been discussed as a mastery degree in tafsir for حسين بن علي بن حسين الحربي، رئيس قسم الدراسات القرآنية كلية المعلمين في جازان. So the mu'allif, the author, he actually presented this as in order for him to gain the master degree in tafsir. So this is the book. It's actually one of the research is being applied to gain the master degree of tafsir. So as you see, tafsir is a discipline like physics, like chemistry, like biology. It has fundamentals. Like any science has fundamentals. There is fundamentals for biology, there is fundamentals for physics, there is fundamentals for tafsir, there is fundamentals for fiqh, there is fundamentals for Islamic studies, and there is fundamentals for science, there is fundamentals for cosmology, fundamentals for astronomy. So every discipline has its own fundamentals, and tafsir one of them. They call them the principle of tafsir, they call them the fundamentals of tafsir, but they mean the same thing. The rules and regulation and the steps that you should follow to reach tafsir or to reach a ruling in fiqh. So I hope, I'm trying to give this message to whom is interested, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put it in our good deeds. So that being said, I think this video is enough. See how long it's been. Just want to see the time. Okay, time is 10:44:46. So I think this video is enough in order for it to be uploaded. We'll meet inshallah in another video. Study with me. That's the that's the lessons I'm gonna inshallah be making. Study with me. Assalamu alaikum.